All right, welcome back, everyone. We do have the lobby remake complete, and we have the next lobby up, and we're right into the bands. Again, welcome all to tonight's presentation of the RD2L Masters Premier Division. We have the Cut Academy versus QXD family if you're just joining us. And for the bands, very quickly coming out, Io and Lena on the side of QXD, and responding with Magnus and Ancient Apparition, respectively, by the Cut Academy. Our first couple picks coming out quite quickly as well. It seems like both teams have a reasonable idea of how they like to start here. Phoenix, a hero we saw a ton of for quite a long stretch, still pretty powerful, commonly positioned 4, and Void Spirit, who can still be flexed on the side of QXD.
Classic Phoenix Mars. I like the Void Spirit pick though. It's good flex. They can put it in all 3 lanes. They really wanted to.
Absolutely, and the combination of Mars Phoenix is already a great start to any draft by the Academy there. That is a nasty combo. Arena plus Egg outside of it or even inside of it, depending on where your ranged right clickers are, can lead to a lot of problems. Rana picked up by QXD. She is a very reasonable egg hitter, especially with the leap attack speed bonus. She can be troubled depending on her location with respect to Arena and the egg as far as getting projectiles blocked, but a good egg hitter nonetheless. Void banned out by the side of QXD. Undying and Legion banned out by Academy. And this draft is moving quite quickly. I think these two teams have a very good idea of what they'd like to do in this first game.
Maybe a Snapfire for the side of Dire. If it doesn't get banned.
Snapfire on Dire is a mid Snapfire? What kind of position Snapfire are you looking for here?
Mid or 5, I think. I think they put the Phoenix on. I don't think they put the Phoenix on 5.
Yeah, we had a stretch where that did occur, right? That's not completely unheard of, and this patch has been going on forever. So it's fair to say in this patch, Phoenix has been played as a 5. I'm not sure. Had a little bit of success for a while, but I think dropped out of favor relatively quickly. More bands
like
kind
the
of.
Slaughter ban.
Oh yeah.
Slaughter band's pretty good. Beats into Mars. Wants to be this tanky frontliner.
Yeah, he has a nice set of damage reduction, but Slardar makes anyone with damage reduction, whether it be armor, skill, or otherwise, look a lot less tanky. Spectre taken out of the pool as well, so we have a couple of carries starting to come off the board here, as well as the offlaners being targeted by the Academy. And 3 of a kind.
They might pick Terrorblade too, but they're going to ban it.
They're absolutely on top of it. And they take the Juggernaut for themselves. So the carries out there on the board. We could see a possible Sven pick here. Exactly. That seems to be the common response.
Yeah, they're going to... Oh, Omni Knight. I like that. Really good pick.
Securing themselves the Omni Knights. We'll likely see an Omni Knight Sven safe lane. Very popular. Very powerful. A lot of success, in recent days here. That's what I'm expecting to see out, though, for the next Dire pick. So what is QXD going to do to try to respond to that? Anything that can take off some of Omni's buffs is always nice, but there's not a whole lot of heroes that get that job done.
You need like a magic damage 5 or mid here. Like Zeus. I don't think they'll pick Zeus here.
No, for their last pick, I would say I think they're going to target their support because they have overall last pick, so they can guarantee themselves a pretty even matchup in mid, or advantageous rather.
God, this is a really solid draft. They have stun, save, team fight. Jesus.
Yeah, the Dire looking pretty mean. It is 3 melee strength heroes. I don't know necessarily that Timbersaw fits the Radiant lineup, but it is quite an effective hero against that style of drafting. They did pick up the Disruptor. I'm not sure if we highlighted that. It's a very versatile hero and the kind of fights he can set up. He does bring some team fight to the table. He offers some lane harass. Does have some disadvantages, of course, but the pretty solid 5 pick.
Really squishy though on the side of Radiant. I feel like you need something that's gonna like up the tempo.
Well, I do like
that can fight nonstop.
The glimpse on Disruptor is really powerful here, right? There's a lot of like Phoenix dives away. No, you're gonna come right back. Mars will like you to blink dagger. Sven, similar situation. Again, as long as he doesn't get popped when Sven engages perhaps upon the Disruptor later in the game, you can go back to where you were.
Like you said, they banned the Timbersaw out because they're 3 strength melee cores.
Yeah, I like both those bans, both the Viper and the Timbersaw.
Yep.
Very, 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 very strong against what the Dire are putting together. Ember Spirit was the ban from QXD.
Kind of need some tower, or Jug's a tower hitter, but I feel like Zeus. They do have last pick, so they can counter their mid. And if it's a good Zeus scheme, I think they just pick Zeus here.
I am a little worried about him getting engaged on. They do. I suppose they do have the glimpse as a kind of an effective save, but I'm not sure. And they have to pick it first as well.
Why would they?
So that leaves some scary openings potentially, especially at this level of play.
They could pick like. Let's see what they pick.
The Templar Assassin.
Okay, they might pick like DP here.
Now this will be interesting to watch. Sven tends to like the fight once he gets his third item up. Templar Assassin, depending on the build, can come out of lane, and if she gets a good start, can be active with one item or two. But again, in the ideal situation, usually you want, again, 3, I would call it, items, even on the Templar Assassins. So one of these heroes is going to have to play a bit off the in a vacuum desired pub pace. Now this is absolutely not a pub. These are very high ranked players. But that is a issue we can sometimes see with TA mid lineups when you already have a very nice hard farming carry.
I pick Mag here.
Mag was banned by the Academy. Yeah, first phase.
Oh, first phase, okay.
But what they're looking to do here, I mean, the Void Spirit killed.
Invoker's good.
Invoker would have a way of peeling off the TA refraction charges, of course. How bad is the matchup Void Spirit versus TA mid if that's what they decide they want to force that into?
It's bad for the Void Spirit. Obviously loses, but I don't think he loses that bad.
So that might be a way they can set up and triage. It's all
about how good this TA is gonna land her side blades.
Because that would allow them, then it would open up the off lane for them, right? It's unlikely this is a Mirana off lane. It's almost for sure position 4.
That might be their mid, but I feel like if they draft that, yeah, they need an off lane actually. The Void Spirit's just gonna lose. Yeah, okay.
Yep. So you got a Brewmaster.
I like that.
Very strong, right? The spell is pretty good in this game. And that is one of the few heroes that we mentioned when I got picked up, right? Take off his buffs. Yep. And he can do it when he's in his ultimate. Now, his ultimate, of course, has a bit of a cooldown to it. Otherwise, that hero would be broken. And you can just kind of
stop him from using his spells in the fight. Just storm him up.
Yeah, it notably, there's the kind of obvious stuff, but even the Warcry from Sven, right, which makes him effective against Jug, is also dispellable by the Wind Panda.
I feel that Brewmaster's a solid pick. Really good pick, actually. Kind of saves him from just kind of losing.
Oh yeah, I think it definitely answered the call for what they needed, and so now it'll be interesting to see. I like how you highlighted the pace from QXD, what they choose, how quickly they choose to play this game. I think will be very, very telling. Because they may have a good window here.
I don't think you go Battlefear here on the Jug. I feel like you go like a Mask of Madness Maelstrom Manta or Maelstrom or Mask of Madness Manta or just Maelstrom Manta. I feel like you need some magic damage.
And then kind of just start hitting all the billions that you can.
Yeah. I feel like they can play at a really quick pace. They might have some hiccups here and there from like the ulti or the team fight aspect, but once those ultis are down, they're gonna punish them.
I got kicked out for just a sec here, Steph, but it did let me back in, fortunately. So I'll really quick walk through the Radiant. We can do the same with you in the Dire. Starting off, just moving right to left, we have the position 5 Disruptor played by Love. Void Spirit is going to be played in the mid lane by Sheer. We have the off lane Pandoran Brewmaster played by XDXPX. And then we have Juggernaut, position 1, played by Jack. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have QXD playing the 4-position Mirana. If you'd be so kind with the Dire hero, Steph.
We got SMD playing the Sven. We got Empyrean on the Omni Knight. We have his name's Sigyn, but it's always based Dota on the Mars. We have B God on the Phoenix, and then we have Red 2 on the Templar Assassin. And then one thing real quick, I'm gonna have to go let my aunt in, so I'll be right back.
Roger that, sir.
I can stay till I get the call, but
Looks like we're not going to have too much in the way of rune contest here. Bottom, I think, seems to be the lane where we might get a little back and forth with how these two teams are setting up. Stormhammer and Heavenly Grace picked up. No surprise there.
Well, hope you like my
A little bit of exchange here at the rune. Jug is able to grab it. Decent amount of damage on the Phoenix. Did opt for the Fire Spirits first. Not surprising. Dive might be good to get away from Jug spin. Sometimes if you think they're going to be able to set up the spin on you, you can certainly level Dive first in a lane against Jug plus a slow or some other containment spell, but is able to get the Fire Spirits off and not lose too much health, which will certainly be significantly better for the Phoenix's harass and overall effect on these two opponents in his lane. So where do you think we're going to have the most excitement, Steph, for lack of a better term? I think
like
so too.
This lane wins for Jug.
Mango, and I'm just looking at how much harass we're going to see dropping out of this disruptor. The right clicks are tough into those spirits.
These lanes are going to be really tough for the Dire, though.
Dyer's courier has been
Oh, that's unfortunate. An early courier toe comes out for the Juggernaut. Ooh, narrow spear miss by the Mars there. Phoenix is able to break the pot, mana pot specifically. Let's just check on the top lane real quick. It was a little bit of back and forth. But this lane, again, one of the advantages while we're up here, actually, of the Omni Knight's Fen is they can be quite tough to kill. Not a lot of kill potential on them. And if you kind of over pursue or get yourself out of position, they do have like the turnaround kill threat if you get yourself out of position. So,
but this Omni Knight can die.
it is possible, but they do have, because of the kind of Heavenly Grace and stun protection from the Sven and the purification, as they get levels, they're harder and harder to kill in that lane. Some more trades back and forth. We'll pull up the last hits here just to check on how everybody's doing. The Void Spirit and Sven lead the way with 10 last hits, excuse me. Jug at 8. The TA is down at 5 and 2. But I think she will ramp up here as far as being able to contest in that mid lane, kind of like you mentioned the draft stuff.
Yep.
Fire Spirit's out. We'll trade a little bit here. Phoenix just barely not level 2. We'll have the dive. That'll make it a lot safer for him with the kind of spin risk on Jug if Jug is able to get on top of him. Does notably have boots on Jug already, so the pursuit will be very, very high. Now we have harass on the Mars. Quick glimpse back and a spin on the...
Dead.
Yep, he's going to go down. And I think that's this glimpse is going to be leveled up pretty early. That's not necessarily something surprising, but it is very, very strong against a number of abilities here. And certainly heroes that can't get away from it. Quick check-in on mid lane.
He might die here if he's not here.
The Void Spirit, you mean?
No, the Templar.
Oh, the Templar.
He has no regen.
Yeah, no regen.
He
Void
lands
does
a
have the
spirit.
bottle. Use the remainder charges.
If he has this Remnant, he might die.
Quickly checking up here at the top.
Oh, he does have mana for Refaction, though.
Bracers on both the core strength heroes in the top lane. Mirana looks like she'll be the one building into the Spirit Vessel. Very, very useful. With the heals and such on the side of the Dire. And Omni Knight just collecting some standard early game items. Not too much to see if our camp is cleared there. So nothing in the way of too crazy pulls or stacks going on just yet. Check on our rotation here. Mirana rotating to the mid lane. Is able to knock down a ward. Nice little influx of resources for her, as well as obviously limiting TA's vision. We'll lose the ability to easily see the rune. Void efficiently farming up the jungle camp here. So let's hide to the bottom lane where we might see a little bit of action. Almost see another spear there out of Mars, just barely out of range. And now we may have some neutral creep shenanigans as this camp, can't pronounce tonight, is double stacked. A lot of magic coming out here on the Mars. He's going to have to do some crazy jukes, and it's not going to work out, unfortunately. Mars goes down for the second time here. It is a bit of a rough lane for him, no doubt about it. He's very strong against the physical damage, and Jug plus Disruptor early are all about that magical.
Templar, though. You see the stack with his illusions? Something we never see in our bracket.
No, sir. Double stack. I was just talking about stacks, and there you go. They're already on top of them. Well played by Red 2. I'm just poking around, seeing if there's any kind of crazy builds coming out or what have you. But I think a lot of these heroes will be played to, for lack of a better term, chalk. Single pull by the Omni Knight. Good camp for it, but it is the siege creep wave. Checking back into bottom again. I'm still figuring this is where the most action, it certainly is where the most action's been so far, and likely is to continue. Second level in Fire Spirits. Do a value level here in the kinetic field from the Disruptor. You know, on the mainstream yesterday, they were beating on a support for going full wand before getting a set of boots. I don't necessarily hate it here, but I am by no means a professional Dota player.
You have 2 spells that Mars uses. You have 3 spells that Phoenix will use.
Yeah, and, if you get speared, if you're not at full health and you get speared to a tree or something, having a little bit extra than 10 charges worth of burst heal could be very, very useful. I think Disruptor got that off without them noticing. So that ward should be safe for the time being.
Did they? Let's check VGod's core. Looks like he did.
Mars has his Tranquil Boots finished.
How do you like the Tranquil Boots on the Mars, though?
With the amount of harass that's coming out, and it's not broken by magic damage, so you can, heal through Thunderstrike and Jug Spin if he's not right-clicking you while he's doing it. That's kind of the if he's just move commanding. I don't hate it. I think it could be quite effective here. Now he is getting right-clicked, so they will go on cooldown for this exchanged.
The double stack by VGod.
Yep, now we've got the stacks moving, and this is going to be some nice farm for our Templar Assassin. And likely a hero or two may help take them as well. Oh, maybe not. Is T just going to be able to clear this out on her own here? Yeah, this doesn't look nearly as tricky as I was thinking.
I really like this. I was just about to say, I think she needs to go Blink Dagger first, which she is.
I'm going to swap over to Net Worth, yeah, because she's the active one, right? The Sven's going to be the one kind of going to be farming hard. Hard maybe in quotations there. Void Spear makes a rotation bottom. Mars, unfortunately, still eating all that magic damage, but is able to spear the Jug away. Fortunately, not enough to save him. The level 6 Astral Step from the Void Spirit. He's a higher than level 6, but he gets it at 6. And they're still able to take the man down. So Mars's game is a bit tough. His farm sitting just above that of the 4-position Mirana. Jug has queued up Battle Fury, by the way. We were talking about his itemization, at least for the moment, showing that that's what he would like to go for.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think it's okay knowing how his lane went.
Ooh, can be get out of this? Not quite, unfortunately. He does go down to the Void Spirit. Omni had just moved towards the Dire jungle, so was not in range to cast any spells at this point to save him. And now Mirana and Void going on the Templar Assassin. Templar trying to do what he can. The dodge does take down the Mirana, but will not get the experience for it. Now they're just diving the Omni Knight under the tower. And going to get some decent damage. Absolutely. We got Panda here by the end of this as well. Little damage to the tower. Actually, will they be able to take all this down before they rotate back? No, they will glyph. I would think we're going to see at least some sort of deterrent defense here, wouldn't you? Maybe not. They're even bringing a 4th hero in on the side of the Radiant. And we're going to lose mid-tower. 9 minutes.
Yeah. It's actually huge for the Radiant.
Yeah, the Vision game definitely taking a nice swing into their favor.
Wait, maybe they're not actually damaging it.
Good ward to put up once your mid tower is down there by the Omni Knight, but it may get dewarded because it is quite common. We'll have to see what the Radiant have in the way of D-wards on their heroes. No sentries to speak of just yet. Let's see, grouping up here with smoke, perhaps. Added vision from this mango tree as well. It's a little bit small on the mini-map. Another nice D-ward out of the mid lane by Mirana. Definitely a much darker area than they'd likely like on the side of the Dire. Nice stack by B-God again. Bounty runes are out. Mirana aggressively moving to take one of Dire's. Is able to get it. Mars giving pursuit. We'll see if he decides his arena. A bit tough against the Mirana with the leaps, and she still has...
They're going to take bot. I think this is a big fight for them. They might just straight towers, but they can defend this on Radiant. They do choose the desire.
Currently, Radiant's up kind of harassing and securing the top tower. That will go down very, very shortly.
Yep,
but now they're going to mass TP the bottom lane.
Just got ulti, so...
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Bruce here. He does have split up in 11.
Yep. And now we have a whole lot of heroes in the bottom lane. Void Spirit looking to rumble, perhaps. Astral steps his way in. Does control up the Mars. Nice disruptor ult. Oh, I thought that was actually going to catch two of them. Not too bad. Does split up the fight. So there's the advantage from that one. And we do take Mars down immediately. Omni Knight is not going to last terribly much longer here as he tries to lead the Radiant heroes away from his friends. He will effectively do so and eventually give his life.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Panda's thing dispels in a radius in an AoE. Like, that's huge.
Oh, yeah. It's a pretty big radius, too. It's no joke.
But he might go down here.
Yeah, another exchange happening back in our bottom lane. A little bit of action-packed area of the map for the time being. Panda, no ult, getting kind of low there. Does have a soul ring up if he needs to use it to cast a clap here to slow somebody down. But Mars is going to drop the ult. With it, the Phoenix Egg, very hard to fight into this, and ill-advised, does secure the Panda kill. And perhaps the tower. We'll see what kind of other defense Radiant may be trying to set up here. But I don't know if we're going to have any more heroes coming in.
How many heroes were there?
Sure, right? And you're not going to fight into that at that point. It does secure them the tower. Phoenix ult has a little bit longer cooldown. Mars' ult is crazy short, even at level 1. 90 seconds allows you to be very aggressive with that spell. Dire moving into the Radiant jungle now with that tower down. It is their right to do so, I think it's safe to say, when you take down the safe lane tower of your opponent. Spear from Mars is not going to be in range to stab him or pin him to a tree. And Mirana moving aggressively. There's 3 Dire hero here.
Sven had this horrible lane, and how he leads net worth.
The man does farm pretty quickly. He has finished his Mask of Madness. Looks to be going into... Wait, he must have something on the courier, perhaps, for the way this is queued up. Yep, he does have an Axe queued up next.
Yes, he has his Echo Saber.
Ah, the Echo Sabro. So I would assume that that'll complete his third item. You know, Echo Saber and Mask of Madness are sometimes looked at as, like, minor items and not major ones. But once he gets the Ags, he will be able to jump in quite aggressively. Let's see how actually the rest of these timings are going. Nope. Hold that thought. Phoenix, unfortunately, set up into an egg, but Omni gets him out of it. That's a great way to break out that very, very long stun by the Mirana arrow. And now they are in pursuit. TA popping some traps, slowing the Mirana down. Does still have 2 leaps. But patience shown, and rightfully so, as she's able to more or less just walk away. Void debating an engage there, kind of just pops out in the middle. And now he's going heavily onto the Mars. Arena popped again. Egg behind him as well. This Void Spirit could be in some trouble. Is able to pop out. The stun will just barely catch him from the Phoenix Egg. Void Spirit almost dropping low and will finally get killed off. The Phoenix using the dive, but the Panda units and the Disruptor are on top. He's going to go down. And Mirana getting caught by the stun and finished off in the middle lane by Sven, TA, and company.
Yep, and that's split. Now they can fight whenever, right when they're up. They can fight. Like, this is...
Radiant structures
They're doing very well of playing their drafts.
Absolutely. I think this is pretty effective, and this is a nice tower to take down. They're going to take the... kind of make it even in the mid lane as far as towers and vision. We don't have an ult here on Panda. He could just get bursted down. Not quite
So-
enough, giving the respect to the fact that they don't necessarily... Well, I guess they may have been seeing Jug up there. I thought he might have been off screen. And he does have Omni Slash. He hasn't shown in a while, so perhaps that was part of the worry.
Yeah, but he's 3 levels down from the Sven.
And about 800 in net worth.
Yep. And this is the whole thing on Jug. You're spending a $4,000 item for trying to keep up with Sven and farm, but he has his own built-in like Battle Fury. I'm pretty sure that does more cleave.
Great
than-
cleave, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's 90 versus, what is it, 60?
Yeah, but 70.
70, excuse me. I was going to say 65.
Yeah,
I was
and
off.
he just farms way
Radiant's
quicker.
bottom tower is under siege.
Yeah, you're kind of building an item to keep up with the Sven, and then you have to exceed the Sven. Mirana may be in a bit of trouble here. Setup stun, double leap, is able to get far enough away that it's not so much a setup. It is just a stun that lands too far out of range for the Mars to close in on. Mars has the Yule Scepter queued up next, then a blink after that to help with his initiation. Void Spirit trying to get out of this mess. Cheeky little astral step up into the trees, but it may not be enough. The TA is ready upon the drop and will go down. Does actually get last hit by the Mars Spear.
And
Kill
this
secured.
Phoenix just does so much damage.
Yeah, I was going to say, what level is the Sunray? Level 3 Sunray already. Just opting for the value level and dive in order to get escapes. TA moving in aggressively behind the tier 2 tower. Mirana popping the ult. Long fade time, but it will save.
Omni Knight OT.
I mean, we have our ults up here. I mean, Sven's is actually actively going, but the rest of the heroes have it. Does take down the range or the siege creep, but this tower's life is forfeit. Sven going to efficiently farm top. I think she was checking what's going on up there. Looks like a little bit of back and forth, but we have no way of canceling the Jug spin. Not yet, at least. And it looks like in the Radiant jungle, we're going to have a little exchange again. Rana just used her last leap. Good arrow set up onto the Omni Knight. He's in a bit of trouble. He's going to go down. Disruptor ult, but is able to TP out on the side of TA. Egg is popped. It will barely catch the Void Spirit. And now Phoenix is going to get up out of here. Supernova, relatively long cooldown, but nothing that's unplayable around. Omni still has his ult.
Yep, and it looks like Mars is about to have his Yule Scepter, which is really good on this hero. It gives him mana sustain. He also has a Soul Ring, and it's just a good setup item.
Yeah, very much needed mana sustain. He has a lot of useful spells. They do go... They're quite expensive for a strength hero, especially for the low cooldowns on the Q and the W. So, mana regen, super, super useful on that hero. Disruptor getting gone on. TA blinks in, but we do see that glimpse usefulness pop on out of there. There was an astral... what am I forgetting the name of this thing for? Aether, not Astral Remnant. Set up by the Void to do as a secondary level of protection for the Disruptor. But the Glimpse does work very, very well for those engages, especially those with the Blink Dagger, because that Blink Dagger will not be off cooldown when you go back to where you came from. Into the Deso next on the TA. Pretty standard build. Sometimes you see the Deso pick up first. Sometimes you see the Blink. She has a Sven, so she opted for the Blink this game. And then a BKB after that. They found Mars. His friends are coming over to try and save him. Phoenix starting up the heal/damage. We do get a Heavenly Grace out of the Omni Knight, and we drop the arena. In comes Sven, though, and this Mirana... Oh, good Yule's up. Does save the Mirana's life. And now everyone's trying to get out of dodge a little bit here. This is kind of a dangerous area. They are able to take down all of the small pandas to effectively kill the large panda. Some dust pop. Sven is able to stun on his way forward. Omni Slash comes out of the Juggernaut and is able to take down the Omni Knight. Mirana's still alive. Phoenix pretty healthy up here and may just be able to take this Mirana down on his own. Does. Nice play by B-God. Phoenix still has Supernova available if something breaks out where it becomes very useful.
Radiant's middle tower is under siege.
No damage really going to be received by that middle tower. Let's see what we're doing over here. Just farm some creeps on our way out, I assume. Omni Knight aggressively TPing into the Taken Shrine by the Dire in the Radiance jungle. A little bit of a warding mission here. Let's see what other timings we're looking at. Disruptor has Arcane Boots. Unless there's something on the career, nothing really queued up yet. Void Spirit moving and getting quite close to his Aghanim Scepter. That's very, very useful for his team fight and damage contributions. Brewmaster, excuse me, has the Blink going into a Halberd next. Extremely effective against the TA. Not bad against Sven either. And Manta finished up by Jug going into the MKB next. Mirana almost having that Spirit Vessel complete. And then inside the Dire, Sven is still moving towards a similar build we saw queued up before, but is a very effective one. BKB up's next. Nothing crazy queued up by the Omni Knight, but it is a position 5. Mars still going for Blink. Phoenix going for, well, completing the, after he completes the Yules, a Shiva's Guard. Pretty effective this game. That's a very expensive item for position 4, so it'll likely be a little while. And lastly, TA we talked about recently going up for that Blink, sorry, BKB next. So, I mean, when you look at it, I guess, certainly if you just look at the net worth numbers, Steph, here you would see kind of the action is almost on the Radiant, right? They're a bit behind. Sven has some strong, effective attributes towards their carry, right? So the carry matchup looks a little disadvantageous. But it is, in fact, the Dire side that's getting ready to go. Smoked up and hunting. May find the Jug here. Jug is able to see him. A little bit of a song and dance.
Right,
Set up for the spear, and Jug dodges with a spin. Very nice. No, it was why you stepped away for a second, and I apologize. I missed that. Were you thinking the... Oh, actually, we have a little extra. Stand by. Sven pops the ult, is going in hard, and the Mirana does latch in on this. She does get her ult off and is able to sneak away for a second. We have a bit of a split fight here as we zoom out. We have the Egg and the Mars combo, which looks like it's going to go off possibly on one. Nope, they're all able to get out of the range on the side of Radiant.
That's a good fight because they were able to split the fight up.
Yeah, no, that split was huge. This Panda's getting low, but he is now turning back into himself, we'll say. And Phoenix is able to find Disruptor over here. He drops the ult on top of himself, which puts both Mars and TA in it. And now we have, whoa, that's some big-time damage as the Void Spirit gets melted.
And here goes Jug. Jug's going to die too.
Yeah, Jug's trying his best to get out of here. Spin is still down. He's going to pop the Omni Slash. Very nice hits on the Phoenix there to finish him off, but as soon as that's over, so is his life. Both of the main cores going down on the side of Radiant. Just the Phoenix on the side of the Dire.
And if they're able
they may go again.
Yeah.
Panda's stuck there and is going to get melted by the Sven TA combo. This combo is disgusting. Physical damage is
Huge
out of
spear
control.
by Mars.
Great spear to find the Mirana in the trees and keep her there. This is looking to be very much in Dire's favor. And again, you already thought the action was to Radiant. They're going to have to get acting and get acting fast to claw their way back into this game. We find Void Spirit again, trading with the TA. Nice heal out of the Omni. We'll take the Void Spirit down again, and now Disruptor's going to die. Omni got there at the right time, dropped the right spells, and TA might have been low, but no death this time.
The whole thing with this lineup is that if they're able to kite this Brewmaster when he ulties, and they're able to keep this Omni alive, they're going to win the team fight every time.
Well,
Jug just does not do enough damage right now.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a kite. As we saw in one of the fights already, with all his physical damage, they can just kill the Panda in his ult. Which is kind of a scary thought, right?
Yeah.
They can just knock all of the little guys down. And he's, what is that? I was going to say, I think it's level 20 where you can get the extra health in there. So he's a long way from his ult becoming significantly more tanky. Aside from the level up, which I was going to say, I don't actually think it adds a little bit, I think. I'd have to double check that. Haven't seen a lot of Panda games lately. Fun hero, though. Even if it is a bit troublesome and tough to play this game.
And it's a good, like, hero this game.
No, we like the pick.
Yeah.
But again, with this when you get this physical damage lineup online, if one was to use the term greedy with a Sven TA combo, when it, or if it gets online, I guess might be the better way to word it, it's a ton of physical damage, and which is inclusive to all those pandas. Glimpse back on the Sven, making sure this Void Spirit does not get gone on. Remnants dropped out, but not quite in range to pull someone under the tier 3 tower. Phoenix dropping out the heals, and Sven and TA just punching the buildings.
This Sven is huge. It's 24 minutes in, and this guy has 17,000 net worth.
Yeah, I think he's got his eyes looking for the right moment to jump past potentially these racks, but eyes on the prize, objective gaming, getting these racks and getting out isn't necessarily a bad thing. They just got to be careful to not get glimpsed back or leave anybody behind. Again, just a narrow miss by that Remnant, the old one catching Mars. And Dire liking what they're seeing here, actually.
They have to leave their base at this point.
Fight's a little split up. We'll see if they decide to go on the TA. It's a tough target. And now they're just going to cut the bottom wave here and possibly just hang around. Quick pause from the side of the Academy.
Does he say...
So if you're rating here, Steph, what's your plan? Your best guess of how you would get yourselves back into this game?
You have to blow up this Omni Knight.
Focus Omni Knight.
It's so hard. I don't even know how you win a team fight.
Yeah, you'd have to kind of send a combo of the Panda going in and the Mirana, basically. She is with the leaps, perhaps. Or maybe they set up with the Mirana ult in some way and try to look for that Omni Knight to engage.
This Sven has 3k HP without the Omni Knight buff. And now he has 3.6 with BKB.
Yeah, he's a beefy boy, that is for sure.
Yeah.
Hitting for just shy of 300 without his ult popped. And if that Mask of Madness is going, he's hitting extremely quickly. So this does appear to be the plan. Jug is continuing to keep the Dire waves from getting out here, slowing them down a little bit. And with that, they spent enough time here, they say Sven's going to go to the top lane. Kill some creeps, push the lane out. Ooh, Void Spirit finds the Phoenix. Sets up, deploys the Remnant. Gets the silence off, but we do have a Yules out of the Phoenix. He'll have to string the silence perfectly, and they do land another one. And down goes the Phoenix.
Good pick off.
Yeah, it's solid. Mirana ult is utilized, though, so they won't have that to set up for the next major team fight until its cooldown is refreshed. And now we have Dire doing the Fly's favorite spot, controlling this Radiant high ground. Oops, setting up on the Brewmaster. He is going to get stabbed to that wall and dismantled. Now we've got a siege creep. We've got a bunch of heroes here. We've got a Sven ult popped. We're going to hit some buildings. Panda is buying back. Does still have that ult up. Good dodge by the Void Spirit to get out of Sven's stun. Sven pops the BKB. TA getting low but has the Aegis, so she's going to come right back.
He's gone. He's just going to die. That was 3 hits that it took him to take his ultis off.
This is, the physical damage is out of control. Jug dead. Panda dieback dead. TA jumping in with impunity to destroy the Disruptor. This game may be signed, sealed, and delivered. The Void Spirit doing what he can, trying to clear out some creeps in base and get some damage, but now he's speared to the wall. Sven's coming flying in, and that dispels, so a Yules is not going to save you. Yep. And he goes down, and GG is called by QXD. Game 1 going to the side of the cut Academy. Pretty solid game, I would say, there from our cut friends.
Yep.
They had a pretty good plan in the draft. They executed well. They got, I mean, really all three of their cores, I think, got enough in order to get that their plan off the ground. Mars had a tough lane, but I think that was kind of expected, right? And Mars was one of those heroes. Arena is a very, very good ability. Spear when you land it, it doesn't matter so long as you get the basic levels in it. It does just the same whether you have 3 items or if you have 1 item. So he's just a very nice utility hero who has a great ult on a relatively low cooldown, and he certainly had the Sven and the TA with him in order to dish out the damage to make up the difference.
And you can't just pick Jug 3rd pick and not ban Sven and Omni Knight. They got 2 of the hardest, probably now in this meta, that are 2 of the hardest counters to Jug, and they let both through.
Jug, and this is an interesting differential at the 10 minutes. They did, QXD played quite well. It's not against them. They actually got their Void Spirit and their Jug off to a pretty good start, and then they just started to turn around once these team fights started to occur. I'm going to look for the lobby here, so I'm going to put up the short break real quick. And we will see what we can find. I'll mute the stream for just a second. Go ahead and take a bio break, get a drink, and we'll be back with game number 2 in just a moment.